Okay. Let us continue, okay, our discussion on, okay, Philippine Cooperative Code. Okay, doon na tayo dun sa illegal use of confidential information. Okay, sabi lang dito, a director daw or officer of an associate or an associate of a director or officer who for his benefit or advantage or that of an associate make use of confidential information that if generally known daw might reasonably expected to adversely affect the operation and viability of the cooperative shall be held liable ka daw class to compensate, okay, the cooperative for the direct losses. Okay, accountable ka naman to the cooperative for any direct benefit or advantage. Okay, received or yet to be received by him or his associate as a result of the transaction. Now, the cooperative thou shall take the necessary step to enforce the liabilities described in subsection. Okay, now let us proceed now sa removal of elective official. Okay, now in order to remove an elective officer, okay, the voting requirement is 3/4 of, okay, regular members present and constituting a quorum. Kaya ibig sabihin meron silang voting power. Kaya 3/4 ng all members with voting right present and constituting quorum. Either in a regular or a special meeting, okay, called for the purpose. Kaya nakalagay dyan na special general meeting called for that purpose. Okay, now the officer concerned daw shall be given an opportunity to be heard. Okay, ano to? Part ito of course ng due process. To hear before it condemned. Now, pag kinompare mo yan sa corporation law, okay, to remove a director trustee, ang voting requirement ay 2/3 ng outstanding capital stock. Pero dito sa cooperative law, bali 3/4, okay, ng all members with voting right present and constituting a quorum. Pero take note, ang nakalagay dito is elective officer. Okay? Kaya ibig sabihin mga elective officer. Eh di ba ang term officers nga kasama yung members ng board of director, members ng committee. Okay? Tapos general manager, okay, or chief executive officer, treasurer, secretary, and other, okay, officers, okay, provided under the, okay, bylaws. Okay, kaya ito yung lumalabas na definition ng officers ng cooperative. Makikita mo yan sa Article 5, paragraph number 11 sa definition of term. Okay, yan na, member ng board, committee members created by the General Assembly, general manager or CEO or chief executive officer, secretary, treasurer, and other position by members as may be provided for in their bylaws. Now, of course, to remove a elective officer, there must be, okay, a just cause. And of course, there must be observance of due process. Okay? Kasi yung procedural due process, di ba? Okay, kumbaga ang concept niyan is to hear before it condemns. Kasi, okay, dapat bigyan siya ng opportunity to be heard. Kaya lumalabas, all complaint daw for removal of elected officers shall be filed with the board of directors. Okay? Pero gusto kong i-emphasize na walang power ang board of director mag-remove ng elective official. Okay? Ang power ng board of director is only recommendatory in character. Kasi ang may final say for removal of elective official is the General Assembly. Now, syempre yung officer na to, bibigyan siya ng opportunity to be heard. Okay? Now, by vote ng majority ng Board of Director, pwedeng i-put, of course, ang elective official into a preventive suspension pending resolution of the investigation. Kasi di ba sabi ko, ang purpose ng preventive suspension para magkaroon ng smooth investigation. Kasi okay, kung halimbawa merong current investigation for removal of this officer or elective official, pwede niyang takutin yung mga possible witnesses as well as i-destroy yung mga document. Okay, para maiwasan yan, okay, then we can put this elective official into preventive suspension para magkaroon ng smooth investigation. Okay, at ang voting requirement nga to put the elective official into preventive suspension is majority ng board of director, meaning yung total number ng directors. Ngayon, pag halimbawa na-determine na may prima facie evidence of guilt, ang gagawin ng board of director, gagawa sila ng recommendation. Kasi ang may final say for removal of elective official is the General Assembly. Kaya ang board of director is recommendatory lang in character. Now, what are the books to be kept by the cooperative? Now, sasagutin niya ng Article 52. Siyempre, kailangan nyo ng copy ng cooperative law and all others laws pertaining to cooperative. Yung mga regulations daw na ini-issue ng authority, okay, mga implementing rules. And another is copy ng Article of Cooperation and copy ng bylaws. Registers of members, okay. Now, book of minutes of meeting. Okay, ito yung minutes of meeting ng GA, minutes of meeting ng board of directors, and minutes of meeting ng committee. Ito yung committee na create ng General Assembly. Share book, okay, when applicable. Siyempre, financial statement. Yan yung statement of financial position. Okay, and of course, statement of operation. And of course, such other document as may be prescribed by law or the bylaws. Now, responsibilities of accountant and audit committee. Okay, bali ang position, accountant or bookkeeper. By the way, ang bookkeeper required na yan class ngayon under RA 9520 na kailangan kasama yan dun sa organizational structure ng cooperative. Now, ang primary responsibility ng accountant or bookkeeper ay i-maintain daw yung cooperative in accordance, meaning i-maintain yung record ng cooperative in accordance with the generally accepted accounting practices. Tapos, responsible sila for production of the same, okay, at the time of audit or inspection. Yung audit committee naman, okay, ang primary responsibilities nila ay i-continue ang periodic review ng book and records to ensure that they are in accordance with generally accepted accounting practices. And of course, they are responsible daw for the production of the same at the time of audit or inspection. Okay, now, record of accounts. Okay, each cooperative shall maintain record of accounts such that the true and correct financial condition, okay, balance sheet, and of course, the result of operation. Okay, kailangan nila ng publication ng audited financial statement in accordance with the generally accepted auditing standard. Okay, annually siya. Okay, then they should be kept posted in a conspicuous place in the principal office of the cooperative. Kaya pag pumunta ka dapat sa office ng cooperative, nakapost doon yung financial statement. Okay? Saka take note na kapag nag-audit ng cooperative, dapat meron silang accreditation coming from the Cooperative Development Authority. Okay? Kasi separate yung accreditation for the Board of Accountancy at meron ding separate accreditation for the cooperative. Okay? Now, preservation class nung records ng cooperative. Now, lumalabas, they should keep the record for a period of at least 5 years. Kasi after 5 years lang nila pwedeng i-dispose yung record. Pero syempre subject yan sa provision ng National Internal Revenue Code and other pertinent laws. Okay, kaya paglagpas ng 5 years, pwede na lang i-destroy ito. Okay, kaya nakalagay yan na cooperative may dispose by way of burning or other method of complete destruction any document, records or book pertaining to its financial and non-financial operation which is already more than 5 years. Pero syempre, ang exception natin, Okay, transaction which are subject of civil, criminal, and administrative proceeding. Kasi kung may case na yan, for instance, sa civil case or criminal case or administrative case, okay, pwedeng mag-go beyond 5 years. Dapat i-safely keep pa rin nila yung record ng cooperative. Now, ano klaseng requirement for disposal of record? Okay, kasi syempre kung halimbawa i-destroy na nila yung record ng cooperative kasi more than 5 years na, kailangan daw ng certification ng board secretary and chairman ng audit committee of the inventory of the audited document, record and books, and kailangan ng approval ng board of directors. Okay, reports. Di ba minention ko before class yung fiscal year? Ang ibig sabihin yan, okay, not literal but rather a calendar year in the absence of any provision in the bylaws. Kaya sabi dyan, the fiscal year of every cooperative shall be the calendar year, okay, except as may otherwise provided in the bylaws. Okay, now every cooperative shall draw up regular report of its program of activities, including those in pursuance of their socio-civic undertaking, showing their progress and achievement at the end, okay, of every fiscal year. Okay, kasi ang audit ng cooperative, di ba, may financial audit yan, meron ding tinatawag na social audit. Kasi aalamin dito, ano ba yung mga activities na ginagawa ng cooperative na makakatulong sa community. Now, kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag na Community Development Fund, di ba? Okay, yan yung fund na sineset up, okay, para i-allocate dyan, okay, para doon sa mga community activities ng cooperative. Now, the report though shall be made accessible to its members and copies thereof shall be furnished to all its members or record. Now, this report shall be filed with authority within 120 days daw from the end of the calendar year. Paki-check nyo na lang itong period na to. Baka itanong. Okay, kasi di ba yung minsan ang question is period. At alam naman natin yung mga period, mahirap na question yan unless nabasa mo. Pero kung hindi mo nabasa, mahirap siya. Pero once nabasa mo, madali lang yung question. At syempre dapat nare-recall mo siya. Okay, now, next. Yung probative value, huwag nating pakialaman yan. Okay, yung banding of accountable officers. By the way, class, nung na-discuss natin before pag nag-organize kayo ng cooperative, di ba yung mga accountable officers, kailangan nila mag-post ng band. Ibig sabihin kung kayo ay officers or na meron kayong custody ng asset or fund ng cooperative, kailangan nyo mag-post ng band for faithful compliance. Now, ito yung mga required mag-post ng band. Chairperson, syempre treasurer and cashier, may custody ng fund dyan. Manager, warehouseman, loan deposit collectors, signatories of check and other financial instrument, and of course such other person as may be authorized by the cooperative to act as a custodian of funds, merchandise, inventory, securities, and other asset of the cooperative. Basta ang rule natin, simple lang. Kung ikaw ay isang officer na may custody ng asset or fund ng cooperative, kailangan mo mag-post ng band for faithful compliance. Kasi nga naman baka itakbo mo yung fund or asset ng cooperative. Okay, now ito naman sa preference of claim. Okay, disregard mo na lang yan. Primarily yan. Okay, tax treatment ng cooperative. Okay, by the way, eto siguro hindi naman siya tatanong dito sa sa subject ko. But malamang sa taxation. Okay, pero general rule is that pag ang transaction ng cooperative is with members, exempt. Pero pag ang transaction ng cooperative is with members and non-members, yung transaction with members, exempt. Pero yung transaction with non-members, nakadepende. Okay, kasi ang sinasabi dito, pag ang transaction natin with non-members, lumalabas meron kayong accumulated reserve and undivided net saving of not more than 10 million, exempt. Pero pag more than 10 million na siya, then taxable na siya. Okay. Now, hindi na ako magfo-focus sa tax treatment. Okay. Hindi ko alam, malamang is i-discuss ninyo yan sa taxation. Now, let us proceed now sa privileges. Okay, manonotice nyo class ang cooperative, meron silang certain privileges provided under the cooperative law. Okay, tulad nito, halimbawa, okay, yung cooperative kunwari, okay, pwede nilang gamitin daw, pwede silang mag-deposit class ng, okay, either cash or mga important document dun sa safe ng municipal or city treasurer. Kumbaga lumalabas yung city or municipal treasurer, magiging custodian to, okay, nung fund saka nung mga documents. Okay, free of charge yan class. Okay, basahin natin yung nakalagay sa provision ng law. Cooperative daw shall enjoy the privilege of depositing their sealed cash boxes or containers, document, or any valuable papers in the safe of the municipal or city treasurer and other government offices free of charge. Take note of free of charge siya. Pwede mag-deposit ka muna doon. Patago ba? And the custodian of such articles shall issue a receipt acknowledging the articles received duly witnessed by another person. Okay, another example ng privilege class. Okay, kung halimbawa, yung mga faculty member for instance. Okay, pagdating sa school, may preferences ang faculty member, okay, sa pag-operate ng cooperative. Okay, ng canteen, saka ng, okay, bookstore. Now, meron ba yan? Meron, makikita natin. Okay, pakita ko muna sa inyo yung provision. Okay, nandun sa paragraph number 12 siya. Bali, cooperative organized by faculty members, okay, and employees of educational institution shall have preferential right daw, okay, in the management of canteen and other services related to the operation of educational institution where there are employed. Okay, kaya mga bookstore, offer din yan. Provided that such services are operated, may requirement lang dapat operated siya within the premises, okay, nung educational institution. Kaya mapapansin nyo mga school ninyo, normally, ang nag-ooperate na bookstore or canteen are cooperative. Okay? Tapos another class, pagdating sa halimbawa, kailangan kunwari ng government or ng agency na mga meat, egg, okay, vegetable, or other agricultural commodity produce, okay, binibigyan ng preference yung cooperative. Now, makikita mo naman sa paragraph number 4 yun. Sabi dito, in areas daw where appropriate cooperative exists, the preferential right to supply government institution and agency rice, corn, and other grains, fish, and other marine products, meat, eggs, milk, vegetable, tobacco, and other agricultural commodities produced by their members shall be granted to the cooperative concerned. Okay, ngayon tingnan mo to ha, yung paragraph number 5, pag halimbawa pagdating sa allocation ng mga fertilizer, including seeds, okay, may preference yung cooperative. Nasa paragraph 5 siya. Okay, another is preferential and equitable treatment in the allocation of control of bottom risk of commercial shipping vessel in connection with shipment of goods and products of cooperative. Okay, ito meron pa mga other privileges dito. Okay, pero normally, hindi naman yan, okay, tinatanong sa board exam. Okay, pwede nyo basahin to. Like yung paragraph number 2. Cooperative organized among government employees notwithstanding any law or regulation to the contrary shall enjoy the free use of any available space in their agency, whether owned or rented by the government. Now, cooperative rendering special types of services and facilities such as the cold storage, ice plant, electricity, transportation, and similar services and facilities shall secure a franchise therefore, and such cooperatives shall open their membership to all persons qualified in their areas of operation. Okay, another, yung paragraph 7 naman, cooperatives and their federations such as farm and fishery producers and suppliers, market vendors, and such other cooperatives which have for their primary purpose the production and or marketing of product from agriculture, fisheries, and small entrepreneur industries, and federations thereof, shall have preferential right daw in management of public markets and or lease of public market facilities, stalls or spaces. provided that this right shall only be utilized exclusively by cooperatives. Provided further that no cooperative forming a joint venture, partnership, or any other similar arrangement with a non-cooperative entity can utilize this right. Okay, ay actually ang purpose niyan para wag mo nyong ma-circumvent of course yung provision ng law. Okay, paragraph number 8, cooperative engaged in credit, services, and or federation shall be entitled to loan credit lines for discounting of their loan, okay, notes, and other eligible papers with Development Bank of the Philippines, the Land Bank of the Philippines, and other financial institution except the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Okay, yung iba dyan, pwede nyo na lang sigurong basahin. Basta yan yung mga privileges na entitled of course ang cooperative. And that is granted by law. Okay, now let us proceed now sa dissolution. Okay. Okay, dissolution. Pwede tayong voluntary dissolution. Okay, wherein no creditors are affected or pwedeng creditors are affected. In voluntary dissolution naman, yung Article 66, dissolution by order of the authority and dissolution by failure to organize and operate. Meron din tayong parang similar provisions sa corporation law na pag hindi kayo nag-formally organize at nag-commence ng operation within a period of 2 years, okay, then ground dyan, okay, that is dissolved. Now, pakicheck nyo nga pala ito ha, dissolution by order of authority. Ibig sabihin, okay, kakancel ang inyong certificate of registration. Sa involuntary naman, okay, order coming from the court. Okay? Now, ito yung class sa dissolution by order of authority. Mapapansin mo dito, gagawin kasi ng CDA is, okay, kakancel din yung certificate. Okay? Either i-revoke niya o syempre tatanggalin kayo sa registration. Now, ano yung grounds natin para dissolution by order of the authority? Okay, having obtained this registration by fraud, existing for illegal purpose, willful violation despite notice by the authority of the provision of his code or his bylaws, willful failure to operate on a cooperative basis, and failure to meet the required minimum number of members in the cooperative. Now, tingnan naman tong, okay, lumalabas na involuntary dissolution. Pag involuntary dissolution, okay, madi-dissolve siya by order coming from competent court. Siyempre after due notice and hearing, okay, part ng due process. Okay, ang grounds naman natin dito, okay, is number 1, violation ng law or regulation, okay, or provision of its bylaws. And second is insolvency. Kaya dalawa yung grounds natin for involuntary. Bali insolvency saka violation ng laws. Okay, the rest of course, okay, is through order coming from the Cooperative Development Authority. Kaya either iso-suspend or i-revoke ang inyong certificate of registration. Tapos dito naman sa voluntary dissolution, paki-check nyo yung voting requirement. Kasi ang voting requirement natin dito sa voluntary dissolution, whether creditors are affected or no creditors are affected, kailangan nyo ng majority ng board of directors and 3/4 ng all members with voting right present with a valid quorum. Okay. Now, next, let us proceed now sa, okay, ito, dissolution by failure to organize, parang similar to sa Batas Pambansa bilang 68. Okay, di ba? Lumalabas kung hindi kayo nag-commence ng business operation within 2 years, okay, after the issuance ng certificate of registration, okay, lumalabas, okay, sabi diyan, the authority shall send a formal notice daw to the said cooperative to show cause as to its failure to operate. Okay, sabi diyan, bibigyan kayo ng due process muna. Kaya kung hindi nyo ma-explain bakit hindi kayo nakapag-formally organize at nag-commence ng business operation within a period of 2 years, then ang gagawin ng, okay, CDA, they will cancel your certificate of registration. Kaya ang gagawin dito, madi-dissolve kayo. Okay, dissolve kayo. Okay? Tandaan nyo na, failure of the cooperative to promptly provide justifiable cause for its failure to operate shall warrant the authority to delete its name. Kaya ibig sabihin, pag delete yung pangalan ninyo dun sa registration, di lumalabas, dissolve kayo. Okay? Now, parang almost the same yan dun sa provision sa corporation law. 2 years din yung nakalagay dun. Now, pero doon sa Republic Act 11232, di ba naging 5 years na. Okay, but under Batas Pambansa bilang 68, okay, that is 2 years. Okay, next. Okay. Napunta tayo doon sa liquidation. Meron akong gustong i-emphasize dito. Parang same sa corporation law. Pag nag-expired yung term niya, okay, di ba sa BP 68 kasi dati, 50 years kunwari yung life niya, o nag-end yung ika 50 years. Okay, dissolve. Okay, pero meron kayong 3 years extended life. Pero you can no longer enter into new business, but only for purpose of liquidation. Okay, ibig sabihin ang purpose niya, liquidation. Now, yun yung 3 years extended life. Ngayon, meron akong gustong itanong dito. I-compare natin dun sa corporation law. Okay, sa corporation, okay, law. Okay, dun sa Republic Act 11232. Pag halimbawa may mga unclaimed balances, okay, no mga corporate creditors as well as stockholder, di ba yung unclaimed balances, ma-escheat yan in favor of the national government. Okay, ibig sabihin halimbawa, during the liquidation proceeding, when nag-liquidate kayo, di ba, 3 years, ang problema, may mga corporate creditors nga sa stockholder na hindi naman nagpakita. Kaya lumalabas yung kanilang respective claims, ang tawag dyan unclaimed balances. Ngayon, ang sabi ng batas, do sa Republic Act 11232, okay, yan ay ma-escheat nga in favor of the national government. Pero mapapansin mo sa cooperative law, yung unclaimed balances ng creditors ng cooperative, saka yung claims ng members, lumalabas dito, hindi yan ma-escheat in favor of the national government. But rather, mapupunta raw yan, okay, dun sa mga federation or union kung saan affiliated with yung cooperative. Okay, kaya tandaan nyo ha, ang treatment natin sa mga unclaimed balances ng creditors ng cooperative saka nung stockholder, hindi siya escheated but rather mapupunta sa federation or union kung saan affiliated with yung cooperative. Okay, ito almost similar provision yan sa corporation law, na bawal kayong mag-distribute ng asset or properties except upon lawful dissolution. Okay, now let us proceed now sa capital sources. Okay, ano ba ang sources ng capital ng cooperative? Bali, number 1, okay, is member share capital. Ito yung lumalabas na contribution plus nung members. Tapos another is mga loans and borrowings, including deposit. Revolving capital. By the way, ano bang ibig sabihin ng revolving capital? Okay, actually yung revolving capital, ito yung deferment ng distribution, okay, nung patronage refund as well as interest on share capital. Parang ganito kasi yan. Okay, halimbawa, may net surplus kunwari. Di magkakaroon ka ng deduction for, parang ganito yan ha, net surplus. Okay, net surplus. Okay, tapos i-less mo dito yung statutory reserve. Okay, ano ba yung mga statutory reserve? Okay, yung reserve fund. Okay, na 10%. Okay, tapos education and training fund. Okay, na 10%. Okay, community development fund, saka yung optional fund. Okay, i-add mo ng dalawa yan, gawin natin 10% din. Kaya technically, 30% ang statutory reserve, meaning hindi nyo pwedeng galawin to kasi yan ay naka-reserve by law. Pero actually yung reserve fund class, kung first year to 5 years of operation, yan, diba, kasi simula pa lang ng cooperative, dapat yung first to 5 years niyan, dapat 50% ang reserve fund. Kaya kung ang education and training fund is 10%, okay, tapos ang optional fund sa community development fund is also 10%, pag inad ko, lumalabas 70% ang hindi nyo pwedeng galawin doon sa first to 5 years. Pero after 5 years kasi, pwede mo na siyang i-reduce up to 10%. Pero let us assume na nag-ooperate ng cooperative for more than 5 years. Kaya technically 30% yung statutory reserve, Kaya 100% minus 30%, may 70% na available for distribution sa members in the form of interest on share capital sa tinatawag nating patronage refund. Okay, ano ba yung interest on share capital? Yan yung interest na sa kinontribute ng members. Yung patronage refund naman, ito yung bumabalik sa mga members pag pinapatronize nila yung product ng cooperative. Halimbawa, kunwari ano yan, credit cooperative. Ang credit cooperative kasi, di ba kumikita ang credit cooperative kapag ang mga members ay nangihiram. Okay, nangungutang. Kaya ibig sabihin, papautangin ng cooperative yung member at yung member ay magbabayad ng interest. Pero babalik din to sa member in the form of patronage refund. Normally, dinidistribute yan kasi every year. Okay, katulad sa amin. Normally, pag mga February, mga bandang February na, okay, doon kami nagdi-distribute ng dividend sa amin. Doon sa cooperative. Kasi nga member ako doon. Meron kaming dinidistribute. Meron dinidistribute sa amin na dividend ang tawag. Pero yung dividend na yun, actually, yun yung interest on share capital sa patronage refund. Now, since credit cooperative yun at hindi naman ako nangungutang, wala ako natatanggap na patronage refund. Kasi hindi naman ako nangungutang doon sa cooperative. Ang natatanggap ko, yung interest on share capital. Ngayon kung halimbawa, okay, pwede bang mag-decide for instance ang board of director na through recommendation ng GA na huwag i-distribute itong 70%? The answer is yes. Kapag dinifer natin yung distribution nito, ang tawag natin dyan ay revolving capital. And that is part of capital sources. Okay, kumbaga ipo-postpone lang yung distribution nung net surplus. Okay, ipo-postpone yung distribution. Ngayon, another class is subsidies, donation, legacies, grant, aids, and such other assistance from any local or foreign institution, whether public or private. Pero nare-recall niyo yung diniscuss natin nung first meeting dun sa cooperative. Na kapag halimbawa, nakipag-transact for instance ang cooperative sa government or any other institution, dapat walang provision dun sa loan, agreement, or donation na pwedeng makialam ang third person. Okay, or yung donor, yung lender, dun sa operation. Okay, kasi otherwise mababiolate yung isang generally accepted cooperative principle, which is autonomous and independence. Now, kaya nakalagay dyan, provided that capital coming from such subsidies, donation, legacies, grant, aids, and other assistance shall not be divided into individual share capital holding at any time, but shall instead form part of donated capital or fund of the cooperative. Kaya ito, papasok to sa donated capital. Lahat ng mga donation or grant na na-receive ng cooperative. Now, upon dissolution, ang treatment dun sa donated capital, kasi di ba pag nagkaroon na ng dissolution, di ba nag-expired kunwari yung term ng cooperative at di na siya ni-renew. Okay, ano yung mangyayari dun sa donated capital? Ang mangyayari sa donated capital, yan ay ma-escheat in favor of the government. Okay, ngayon tingnan natin yung mga treatment ha. Okay, tatandaan nyo to ha kasi magandang gawa ng question to. Ano yung magiging treatment natin sa unclaimed balances ng creditor and shareholder? Binanggit ko na sa inyo yan. Yung mga unclaimed balances ng creditors ng cooperative as well as yung claim ng members, hindi yan ma-escheat in favor of the government, but rather mapupunta yan sa union or federation kung saan affiliated with yung cooperative. Now, yung mga donation naman, di ba papasok sa donated capital. Pag later on, na-dissolve siya, ang gagawin sa donated capital is cheated in favor of the government. Sabi mo, sir, sandali, ano yung reserve fund, sir? Di ba may statutory reserve kayong 10% na ina-accumulate every year? Kung sa first to 5 years nga, may 50% yan. Actually, yung purpose ng reserve fund, para maging stable yung cooperative. Kasi imagine nga naman, first year pa lang, di-distribute na kagad kayo sa mga members. Paano kung second year, loss kayo, third year, loss, fourth year, loss kayo, magsasara kagad kayo. Kaya yan ay for stability ng cooperative. Saka pangalawa, i-shoulder niya yung losses. Now, yung na-accumulate yung reserve fund, hindi yan i-distribute among the members. But rather, may option yung cooperative. Either number one, mag-create kayo ng tinatawag na usufructory trust fund for the benefit ng federation or union kung saan affiliated with yung cooperative. Or pangalawa, okay, is i-donate. Okay, magkakaroon kayo ng donation ito, okay, for the benefit ng community. Now, pakitandaan yung mga treatment dito. Unclaimed balances, donated capital, and of course yung reserve fund. Kaya ibig sabihin pag nagkaroon ng dissolution, anong gagawin doon sa mga balanse? Reserve fund, ulitin ko, either usufructory trust fund or pwede siyang i-donate na lang na makakatulong sa community. Okay, yung donated capital naman is cheated in favor of the government. Okay, at yung mga unclaimed balances naman ng creditors and members, okay, yan ay mapupunta sa union or federation kung saan affiliated with yung cooperative. Okay, now let us proceed now sa definition of shares. Sabi dyan, the term shares daw refer to the unit of capital in a primary cooperative. Okay, the par value of which may be fixed to any figure not more than 1,000. Alam mo, actually, pag binasa mo kasi yung provision ng batas, sa batas, kumbaga, ang par value niya, any amount not more than 1,000. Kaya technically, pwede sana ang 10 pesos, di ba? Pero ang problema, pag binasa mo yung implementing rules ng 2008, nakalagay dyan, yung par value niya may be fixed at any amount but not less than 100 but not more than 1,000. Kaya nag-provide na ng minimum. Unlike sa law, wala siyang minimum. Okay? Kaya tingnan nyo to ha. Okay? Para kasi lumalabas is conflicting siya. Kasi pag tinignan mo yung batas, wala ngang minimum. Nakalagay lang is the maximum. Pero sa implementing rules, naglagay na ng minimum par value. Now, the share of capital of a cooperative is the money paid or required to be paid for the operation of the cooperative. The method for the issuance of share certificates shall prescribe daw in the bylaws. Okay. Now, pwede ba kayong mag-issue class ng preference shares? Sinagot ko na yan sa inyo before. Okay, kasi dalawa ang pwedeng i-issue na share capital sa cooperative. Okay, una yung common share at pangalawa is preference share. Pero kung isa lang ang ini-issue yung share, it means automatic that is an ordinary or common share. Ngayon, merong limitation ang pag-issue ng preference shares. Kasi una, bago kayo makapag-issue ng preference shares, kailangan nakalagay yan sa provision sa bylaws. Nakalagay yung issuance and limitation niya. At pangalawa, hindi kayo pwedeng mag-exceed ng 25% ng authorized share capital. Kaya sabi ko nga sa inyo, kung halimbawa 10 million for instance ang inyong authorized, ang pwede mo lang i-allocate for the preference shares is only 2.5 million, which is 25% of the 10 million. Kaya yung 75%, yun naman yun sa ordinary share. Now, ulitin ko ha, itong preference shares kasi, normally yan yung ini-issue natin sa mga associate member. Kasi di ba pag associate member, wala silang voting rights. Yung ordinary shares naman, yan yung dinidistribute natin sa mga regular member. Now, okay, eto may limitation sa par value pa rin. Okay, doon sa issuance ng share. Prohibited to issue multiple types of common shares with different par. Hindi pwedeng ito ang gagawin nyo. Meron kayong ordinary shares, kunwari ang par value is 200. Meron kayong ordinary shares na ang par value is 100. Bawal yun. Okay? Bawal kayong mag-issue ng multiple types ng common na may different par value. Pangalawa, prohibition to increase, decrease par value by amending article of cooperation and the bylaws. Kaya hindi nyo pwedeng i-increase yung par value niya by just simply amending the article of cooperation as well as the bylaws. Ngayon ito, maganda rin gawa ng tanong to. Limitation on share capital holdings. Okay, based on equity. Okay? Diba doon sa general accepted cooperative principle, okay, dapat meron kayong equitable capitalization. Kaya mapapansin ninyo, sa primary cooperative, ang maximum holdings lang na pwedeng i-hold, okay, ibig sabihin ang pwedeng shares lang na pwedeng i-hold ng members ng primary cooperative is up to 10% lang, except cooperative itself. Kaya ibig sabihin, kung magiging treasury shares yan, pwedeng more than 10%. Okay, pero kung halimbawa, ako ay member, tapos more than 10% ako ng share capital, ay hindi pwede. Now, siya malamang may tanong ka. Sir, paano kung halimbawa ganito? Si A for instance, okay, anak niya ngayon si B. Mag-ama, pero pareha silang member ng cooperative. Okay, si B, meron siyang holding for instance na 7%. Ito naman, meron siyang holding na 5%. Later on, namatay si A. Technically, yung 5% kasi, may inherit yan ni B. Kasi qualified naman si B to inherit. Kasi existing member din siya ng cooperative. Pero ang problema, pag inad mo kasi yung 5% saka yung 7%, lalabas dyan is 12% na. Lalagpas ka sa threshold na 10%. Kaya yung excess ditong 2%, babalik yan sa cooperative. Kasi nga, hindi kayo pwedeng mag-hold more than 10%. Okay, pero by the way ha, ang pinag-usapan dito is a primary cooperative lang. Okay? Kaya non-members of primary cooperative other than cooperative itself, ito yung treasury shares, shall own or hold more than 10% of the share capital of the cooperative. Kaya sabi dito, pag imbawa namatay nga siya, okay, his heir shall entitled to the share of the decedent. Kaya ibig sabihin, pag namatay kunwari dito si A, may inherit ng legal heirs yan, provided qualified siya for inheritance. Kasi dapat may common bond of membership kayo. Kasi halimbawa, ang ginamit kunwari ng cooperative is institutional, hindi ka naman empleyado doon. Hindi ka magiging member. Kaya ang gagawin dito ng cooperative, babayaran lang ng interest yung legal heirs. Kasi dapat qualified ka, okay, for membership. Okay, yun nga ha, nakalagay dyan ha, does not exceed 10% of the share capital of the cooperative. Provided further that the heirs qualify is admitted as member. Kaya tingnan mo yung nakalagay sa provision ng batas, napakalinaw. The heirs, okay, qualify. Kasi kung hindi siya magko-qualify kasi walang common bond of membership, hindi siya magiging member. Kaya ang mangyayari, babayaran lang ng cooperative yung interest, okay, nung deceased. Okay, kaya nakalagay admitted as members ng cooperative. Provided finally, that when the heirs fail to qualify as member, kasi hindi siya nag-qualify for membership, or when there is a total shareholding exceed 10% of the share capital, the share or share excess will revert to the cooperative. Babalik yan sa cooperative, magiging treasury yan. Upon payment to the heirs of the value of such shares. Kaya yan ha, tandaan nyo to kasi magandang gumawa ng question dito sa provision na to. Okay, at I'm expecting actually na may tatanong dito pero wala pa I think na itatanong sa provision na to. Okay, which is Article 73. Okay, break muna tayo mga kapatid. Okay, gagawa ko ng separate video ulit.